can't stop. You can try, but that won't stop, won't stop.
Welcome to Burnaby, British Columbia for some Western Conference action. Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 taking on Ventura County FC in this big-time duel on MLSNextPro.com. Hello, family. I'm James Hadnot. Thank you so much for tuning in. Both of these teams coming off losses, and both gave up 3 goals in their last match. For Ventura County, a side that is on the road taking on the Caps, and they fell in their matchup to Portland at home 3-2. And for Vancouver, after getting their first win of the season at home 2 matches ago against Austin, they dropped one to Houston Dynamo Dos. So now let's take a look at the starting lineup for Ricardo Clark's Whitecaps. Sitting out a 4-4-2, 3 changes. Alexander Milosevic comes on, as well as Yuma Tuji. He returns to the starting lineup, and this is going to be a fun lineup for Ricardo Clark. Daniel Russo also joins the fray. Russo, 2 matches ago, had a beautiful free kick which started the scoring in the 4-0 rout of Austin, and so his addition back into the lineup is going to be key for Vancouver with his ability and his quality in set-piece situations. As we now take a look at the starting 11 for Matt Taylor, 4 changes for Ventura County. Lewis Mueller, Gabriel Arnold, Sean Karani, and Jason Buckner all go to the bench, which means that Dylan Vanny, Nadir Jandawi, as well as Nick Sullivan and Riley Delgado find themselves in the starting 11. Ruben Ramos Jr. playing the number 9 today, has 2 goals on the year. Vanny, the son of head coach at the first team level, Greg Vanny, will have something to say about this matchup. And we talked about Nadir Jandawi really quickly. He is not only known for his prowess as a footballer, but also as an influencer. Has more than 2 million followers on Instagram, 3.5 million followers on TikTok. And so he is handling his business not only on the field, but also off the field. He's a Nike football representative, and he will look to get on the score sheet tonight for Ventura County. Prior to this match, we definitely want to send our condolences. Last night, the city of Vancouver was shaken up and deeply saddened by the tragic events that unfolded. 11 lives were lost and many others were injured. Our hearts and prayers are with the victims, their families, and the entire Filipino community during this incredibly difficult time. MLS Next Pro joins the Vancouver Whitecaps, the city and the country, to stand in unwavering solidarity with all those that were affected. There was a moment of silence early on before the teams entered the field of play, and with so many negative things happening, there was so much happiness in the city of Vancouver after their win over Inter Miami in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, for the recklessness that transpired last night. We want, again, to just have thoughts and prayers for those who affected the entire community, as well as those who had different things happen. As the whistle blows, we begin this matchup between Vancouver and Ventura County, and an immediate foul on Vancouver, which means that Ventura County will have a free kick. James Hadnot here with you. Ventura County in their road white kits, Vancouver in their navy blue kits. Thomas Noel, our referee, already having to stop play. Alex Milosevic in between the pipes for Vancouver, getting his wall set. This will be Musto. That ball just didn't drop over the outstretched arm of Milosevic. Not the worst effort from that distance. Musto got it over the wall. And again, just did not fall over the top of the outstretched arm of Milosevic. It went over the crossbar. Ball goes out. Vancouver will have a throw. We mentioned that after being on the road for matches this season, they found themselves at home. Mateo Clark trying to maneuver near the end line, and this ball goes out for a goal kick. Nice little touch from Vanny, dumping it forward. Delgado. Now, as this ball is cut back, it's headed away by Russo. Jackson Castro on it for Vancouver, and he is tripped up. That will be a foul on Giorgio Kochevsky. Definitely wanted to make note of the tragic events at the Lapu Lapu Block Party. We continue to have those affected in our thoughts. And as we reset for the match, down the line. That is Nikola Georgievic. Will be a throw in. It's Dalen Velios. Vancouver and Ventura County, two teams in the Western Conference. And now, as this ball is taken away, Mateo Clark trying to set Nelson Pierre forward. Both of these sides falling in their last matches. Ventura County found itself behind 1-0 early off of a Gage Guerra goal from Portland, and then answered late in the first half. Aubrey Miller sending this into the box. It stopped, but Miller back on it. Musto, Kochevsky, now Jandawi. Ball simmers into the box. Left, now Musto. Right at Milosevic, making his first save of the match. Finishing that point, you see Ventura County just finding a nice opportunity. Dylan Vanny, who has assists on the season, laying that off perfectly for Thomas Musto. And after drawing level at the end of the first half, Ventura County conceded twice to Portland. All three goals that were scored by the Timbers came off the boot of Gage Guerra. Ruben Ramos got one back. Now Ruben Ramos, opportunity here. Ball left, shot! Wide of the mark. Nick Sullivan could not curl it into the back of the net. This was a gorgeous chance for LA. You see they have the numbers advantage. Sullivan, the striker, could not hit the target. And Vancouver giving up early chances to Ventura County. Not something that you usually see from a Vancouver side throughout a match. They have struggled in regards to conceding goals on the season, however. 15 goals given up, that's third most in the Western Conference. Georgievic. Nikola Georgievic hits the crossbar. Georgievic scored his first goal of the season 2 matches ago against Austin and almost added to his account here. Nobody closed him down, so he decided to have a crack. And he just missed that top corner. So Brady Scott was beat, but the crossbar, his best friend, in the 6th minute. So both sides with early opportunities. And this is how this match will flow. The ebb usually with Ventura County, they will connect passes, will locate runners, and they can play through the middle of the pitch or around the edge. Vancouver will do its best to get numbers behind the ball, keep things in front of them, and really not allow for that final action. They're okay with allowing possession, but do not want to be undone. And once they have won the ball, will look to counter. This ball drops to Jandawi. Miller. Nice touch. Dylan Vanny could not keep possession. Musto, former LAFC man. A couple of different players who spent time with LAFC, now with Ventura County. Second team for LA Galaxy. Salamani got a piece of that. Vancouver will have to continue to defend, and that's a turnover. Jackson Castro and Nelson Pierre too close in quarter. Could not continue the counterattack. And that's what Vancouver wants to do. If they can force a mistake higher up the pitch or in that middle third, then they can get the ball to their playmakers like Jackson Castro, Mateo Clark, and find those striking players like Nelson Pierre, who leads the team in goals. Captain O'Neill is brought down by Sullivan, but O'Neill is deemed guilty. So another free kick, this one a couple of yards off the 18-yard box. And this, a dangerous opportunity that Vancouver has to deal with. Milosevic once again trying to set the wall from about 20 yards out. Two potential takers for Ventura County. 11th minute of action. This strike is too high. And we've seen it twice from two different kick takers. That one was Dylan Vanny, and it went right over the crossbar. Thomas Musto from a little farther out, a much more difficult technique to get it up and over the wall and back down and really trouble Milosevic. Vanny, who has excellent quality, would probably want to do a little bit better there, put more pressure on Milosevic. This is Ramos Jr. Jandawi tries to send the ball in the box. It's headed by Velios, but Sullivan. Now the ball pops out to Delgado. Musto Talked about the defending that Vancouver has done up to this point. Just 12 goals scored by Ventura County on the season. Low cross handled by Castro. He has his eyes up, trying to run into Pierre. The counter is on. And it comes to a close as Mateo Clark is trying to send an early ball forward towards Johnny Selemani. Ventura County, they're 12 goals, but they've scored multiple goals in each of their last 3 matches. Chevrolet is proud to be a partner of Vancouver Whitecaps FC since 2013. Together this stadium, together on this pitch, and together let's drive Chevrolet.ca. 13th minute of action, no score between Ventura County and Vancouver. Nikola Georgievic hit the crossbar for Vancouver, and Nick Sullivan had an excellent opportunity, but curled the ball outside of the post. Ventura County, as they usually do, having the lion's share of possession as we near the quarter of an hour mark. Riley Delgado tracks this down, sends this back towards goal, but Milosevic snatches it out of the air. Helios keeps this in, but Ventura County finds themselves back on the ball. Coming into today, Ventura County found themselves tied with 5 different teams for top of the West. Houston has already won today, so they sit at the top of the Western Conference with 15 points. Ventura County could match them if they could take all 3 points from Vancouver. Vancouver a little bit lower in the table, but have a golden opportunity here at home to take 2 out of their last 3 matches. Jandawi. A little shove from Delgado. Smartly done by Georgievic to take that foul as soon as he felt any contact. It just helped release a little bit more of the pressure that was being put on by Ventura County. Russo slipping it towards Mateo Clark. But the ball ends back up with Ventura County. This is where Ventura County had trouble last match versus Portland, trying to build out of the back. And you see a nervy moment there for Scott. Ball given up. Pierre can't make the most of the pass from Georgievic. But Ventura County gave up 2 goals in that same type of fashion. One in which the goalkeeper just fell, and Gage Guerra took the ball off his foot and scored the 3rd goal. Georgievic with a stab and a steal. Selemani into Clark. So how does VCFC respond after their unforced errors took away the opportunity for 3 points at home? Velios. Pierre controlling, leaving it. Now Castro wide of the mark. This is Selemani just sharing. Castro could not finish. Jindawi, too heavy of a ball. Right idea, looking for Sullivan. You can see Ventura County having no trouble right now playing through the middle. And that's not what Vancouver wants to see. Although that touch was a little heavy, the right weight on that, and Sullivan is ready to take a shot. Although we've already talked about the tragic events that happened in the city. Selemani shimmering forward. Georgievic dumping it. Pierre's touch. Pierre around the goalkeeper. Beautiful from Nelson Pierre, and the acrobatics even better after the goal. Vancouver takes a 1-goal lead, and Nelson Pierre has his 5th of the season. Selemani gets things started as he bullies his way onto the ball, and as he controls, picks out Georgievic. And Georgievic, a excellent ball over the top. Pierre's touch allows him to make a decision. And as he took the second ball around the goalkeeper, a tap in was all that was necessary. And Vancouver strikes first.
Whitecaps FC 2 goal.
Nelson Pierre is enjoying new horizons.
By number 42, Nelson Pierre.
Played with Philadelphia, and we've talked at length about the talent that's with Philadelphia. Jindawi, shot right at Milosevic. And although there was a little rebound, Milosevic was quick to the ground to grab it. Ventura County almost with an immediate response. It's a nice little tap over from Ramos. Jindawi comes to a complete stop to give himself an opportunity. But you see two players at the top of the 6 wanting the ball. Jindawi decided to go for goal. There's a foul near midfield, as the energy in this match has started to rise. And the conversation, Giorgio Kaczewski from Thomas Noel, our head referee. But finishing the point on Pierre comes from Philadelphia Union, and with so much success that the Union have had, sometimes there's not enough minutes even at the second team level. So Pierre is a player that has come here to Vancouver and made the most of his opportunity. As this ball is shepherded out by Russo, he is pushed down, and before the ball rolled out, a foul was called. So this will be a free kick. Castro has his cross snagged down by Scott. Sullivan. Musto. Siphons to Harbor Miller. Ball took a deflection, took the bite out of it. Now Musto working back. And Delgado. Ventura County retreating and regrouping down by the goal. Beautiful passage of play. Now Harbor Miller sauntering into the box. Miller has his shot come across the face of goal. Sullivan was the last man to touch it. And as Miller made his way into the area, was looking for options, and you can see his frustration as that ball comes whizzing across the face of goal. All Sullivan has to do is redirect it into the back of the net. Once again, Miller finds himself behind the back line. Harbor Miller, oh, nice move. And Jindawi, second shot is hit by Sullivan. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And Nick Sullivan levels the score here in Vancouver. A spitting image of the last action. Harbor Miller once again cuts back onto his left, sends the ball across. Jindawi puts it back inside the 6, and after the first stop, Sullivan would not be denied a second time. And this match has real life now. One apiece. So Nick Sullivan with his first of the season. And we are even at 1-1 between Vancouver and Ventura County. And we've seen the differences in styles. Ventura County answering the questions that are being brought by the defense, finding Harbor Miller in the wide areas and then behind the defense and allowing him to be a playmaker. Harbor Miller, a multi-time champion at the academy level. And has made his first team debut, has played not only in MLS play, but also in CONCACAF competition. And he is ready for the moment. He is not fazed in the slightest. When he's on the pitch, he makes things happen. Delgado into the goal scorer, Sullivan. And his touch behind as he was working towards the byline, just a little too far out. BMO is proud to be a founding partner of Vancouver Whitecaps FC since 2006. Join the Bank of Soccer at bmo.com. 26th minute of action, and we are tied at 1-1. That's a foul on Selemani after losing possession. And he will receive a yellow for the action. So Johnny Selemani, you see here, takes the touch, and then as he clips Giorgio Kaczewski towards the back of the ankle, towards the shin. That's why that's
yellow card to Whitecaps.
Unnecessary contact.
63, Johnny Selemani.
So Selemani first in the book for either team. Musto dumps this into the box, headed down, hit by Sullivan off the volley. Ventura County has found themselves in this match now. The cliche is that goals change games. Ventura County got on the board first, and have to feel like that woke Ventura County up. They have been firing since. Georgievic, nice ability to keep the ball for Vancouver. Selemani turns it over towards Miller. Castro fouled by Kochevsky, and you see Ricardo Clark pointing at the head referee. It was similar contact, and now Jandawi will go into the book. So the first Ventura County player booked on the day, and that's for just time wasting, not allowing the restart. But Coach Clark was more upset prior because the contact that was made on Castro by Kochevsky was very similar to the contact that Selemani made on Kochevsky, which turned into a yellow for Selemani. That's all coaches want, is just consistency. Now Tuji gliding, losing possession to Harbor Miller. This ball scurrying,
Yellow card caution.
picked up by Musto.
FC, number 74, Nader Jr.
Velios waiting to be picked up. He'll take the ball across midfield. Excellent idea, looking for Selemani, but could not complete the pass. Georgievic, feisty on the ball, and Delgado brings him down. And Thomas Knoll wants to have a demonstrative conversation with him. Captain Mark O'Neill very displeased. He's voicing that displeasure. And you can see with the way that O'Neill was moving his hands that nothing was coming from this challenge. That has to be the final straw. So the two former Creighton teammates, Castro and O'Neill, play pass. O'Neill on the ball now. Both Castro and O'Neill were captains of the Creighton Blue Jays this past season and went to the College Cup while they were at Creighton. O'Neill joining the attack. Ball drops to Georgievic. Georgievic continues to glide as he cut the ball back. Selemani off the volley. And Nikola Georgievic has been pristine in the early going. He has showcased his quality by maneuvering through defenders. He did that earlier and dropped the ball over the top for Nelson Pierre's goal and almost drew the ball back for Pierre. This is Georgievic once again. Russo will switch the point of attack back towards the captain. And all the ball around to Velios. 32nd minute of action. Georgievic in the pocket. Russo. Castro and Harbor Miller ready for that. Talk about the pedigree that Harbor Miller has. Again, championships at the academy level with teammates Ruben Ramos, Pepe, who's on the bench for Ventura County. He's ready for this moment. Now Salamani. Russo around Miller. Castro and Clark, but Clark is pushed off the ball by Musto. And a necessary clearance. Well done. This is Georgievic once again, continues to race forward, and a diving stop by Scott. So Georgievic continues to cause havoc for this back line. Castro overcooks this. Throwing coming for Ventura County. TELUS now offering pure fiber internet across Canada. 34th minute of action. We're level at 1 apiece. Nelson Pierre scoring the opener for Ventura County. That was matched later by Nick Sullivan. Pierre scoring for Vancouver, pardon me. And Ventura County finding their goal from Sullivan. Kuchevsky. Rindov. Jindawi pops in. Now Miller once again. Early ball, but it's right at Milosevic. Russo. Nice for Pierre, but Pepe goes back to his goalkeeper. This is what Ventura County wants to do, build out of the back. They have to be crisp, as Vancouver wants to force them into a mistake. When you give Ventura County time to assess, that's when they're at their best. Sullivan, offside. There's an example right there. Just time. For Delgado and for Miller. And they're on the outside. They play in the left and right back position, but we've already seen Delgado and Miller get higher up the field. Miller once again in open space. Russo closed him down. Clark around Jindawi, and Vancouver will look to race. Umatuji trying to connect with Clark. It's not there. And Ventura County back the other way, but the ball too far out in front of Harbor Miller. Jindawi slips it through. Ramos cuts it back. Miller into the box. Ramos! Ventura County takes the lead. Ruben Ramos Jr. with an excellent strike. And Harbor Miller a part of the action again. You see Miller, and Ramos Jr. just pops into here, gets onto that left foot, and that is a sizzling shot. Ramos Jr. now with his third goal of the campaign. And Ventura County takes a lead as we near halftime.
Ventura County FC goal scored in the 38th minute by number 24, Ruben Ramos Jr.
So now what is the response from Vancouver after going up 1-0? They have now conceded 2 straight. And this looking very similar to their match versus Houston, where they went up 1-0 and then conceded 3 straight. Coach Clark has mentioned that he wants his team to be able to play a full 90. Sometimes that full 90 means you have to deal with adversity and come out the better on the other end. Ventura County trying to respond from their last match, which they probably felt like they should have gotten more. Could have expected a spirited match from both of these teams. We've seen the spirit from Vancouver in going in front, and we've seen the response from Ventura County. Jackson Castro, Nelson Pierre! Oh, an excellent ball early to Pierre. He just could not nod it into the back of the net. This service is wonderful from Castro, and Pierre just has to guide it as Scott has started to come up. Got him caught in no man's land. Mateo Clark for Vancouver. Castro siphons it forward. Pepe first to it for Ventura County. Castro ends up on the pitch, nothing there. Salamani down the line to no one in particular. Kaczewski, Delgado. Ventura County shows their quality, the ability to ping passes all across the pitch. And there's so much ability. And here we go again with Harbor Miller. Kaczewski. Sadekon sends that away. Miller Oh, around Russo. Now Miller. And Milosevic will go to ground. But you see why Harbor Miller has signed his homegrown deal. He has all the tricks. He is somebody that LA Galaxy has been excited about since his early teen years. Sullivan trying to control for VCFC. Reinforcements starting to come in for the away side. Back to Sullivan. Overlapping run by Delgado. Musto. Kaczewski. And the maestro, Harbor Miller. Jindawi. Nader Jindawi can't connect with Sullivan, but he'll end up with it on the touchline. This is where Ventura County is at its best. Excellent flip behind. Sullivan was offside. But when Musto and company have an opportunity to pick their head up, one of these players for VCFC is going to make the correct run, whether that's Ramos, we just saw from Sullivan, because if he stays onside, then that is a glorious opportunity. And that's where the little bit of pressure makes things a little bit more difficult. You have to continue to stay locked in as Russo took his eye off the ball and it scooted out for a throw. The unofficial word is no added time. And so we are moving towards the final minute of action in this first half. Ventura County found itself down by a goal and has scored 2 unanswered. Thanks to Ruben Ramos Jr. and Nick Sullivan. It's going to be a foul on Dylan Vanny. And Vanny will be shown a yellow card. Three bookings for this match, 2 for Ventura County and 1 for Vancouver. Vanny and Jindawi both on yellows, and Johnny Salamani on a yellow for Vancouver. Moments away from the halftime whistle.
Yellow card to Ventura County FC, number 49, Dylan Vanny.
Dimbo Sadakan. Milosevic sends it away, headed by Harbor Miller. And that's our first half. So Nelson Pierre sent this Swan Guard Stadium into a frenzy with his 5th goal of the season, but there was a response emphatically by Ventura County. Nick Sullivan scoring his 1st of the season, and Ruben Ramos Jr. scoring his 3rd. Ventura County with 2, and Vancouver with 1. Let's look back at the MLS Next Pro goal of the week. New York Red Bulls 2 midfielder Ibrahim Kasule is last week's winner. Following a corner kick, the Ugandan international controlled the ball with his chest before unleashing a rocket past the Chicago Fire 2 goalkeeper, extending his side's lead to 3-1 on the way to a 3-2 victory. Red Bulls 2 sat atop the Northeast Division standings with 10 points following this result. As we take a look at this beautiful strike again, volley to himself, and a venomous shot from Ibrahim Kasule. Beautiful goal from the Ugandan. Well, we got highlights from earlier this week and a player profile and much more at halftime as we roll on from Swan Guard Stadium in Burnaby, British Columbia.
If I got it, then I bought it. Take a bite, 'cause I want it. And I know I got the taste for the cake, and I take what I make and I flaunt it, flaunt it. Got diamonds on my vibe.
Action!
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Ventura wins it!
Welcome back. It's halftime, and Whitecaps find themselves behind Ventura County by a score of 2-1. Now it's time for our player feature. Let's get to know Chattanooga forward Jesus Ibarra.
Ibarra from Garcia. Still Ibarra! Oh my goodness me! It's a tremendous finish. Jesus Ibarra with a trivela of epic proportions.
Fans called it the best goal of the 2024 season. In a poll on MLS Next Pro's X account, Jesus Ibarra called it the best goal he scored as a professional. So, what was going through his mind at that time?
I remember warming up like the whole halftime and them saying like, you're coming off in the 45th minute. So I come on, I'm ready, I'm excited. I've been injured for a bit of time now. One of the first balls that I got, it was from Lucho, and I get it on the wing, and it's a quick counter, and I'm driving at the defender, and I like just shimmy to both sides, and I see that inside is the right side, and I didn't want to shoot it with my left, so I shot it with my outside of my foot, and I mean, it went right in the corner, but like definitely blanked out. I heard everyone screaming, everyone running after me, so it was a great feeling.
Ibarra had a brace that day, kicking off a season that would see him finish with 7 goals, tied for second on Chattanooga FC.
We were all just on the same page. That left side, I was with Milo playing most of the season, and I really think we got a good understanding of each other, built some chemistry over the season, and yeah, just getting the ball a lot to my feet and just able to create chances for other people or for myself, and I feel like the dynamic worked a lot last year.
I mean, his unpredictable, exciting attacking is huge. That's what we want. His ability, we saw that last season when we missed him through injury. The team's attacking form dipped a little bit, so that creativeness that he brings is constant threat to score or assist. That's huge for us.
I just want to stay healthy this year and get more game time, but I definitely want to work on getting more assists.
Him attacking and being just Jesus is what makes us part of who we want to be. So having players like Jesus that add to it and contribute to it is huge.
If I got it, then I bought it. Take a bite, 'cause I want it. And I know I got the taste for the cake, and I take what I make and I flaunt it. Got diamonds on my necklace. I live how I like, so it looks it's getting reckless. I'm feeling myself, and you can't break my vibe. I'm feeling myself, and you can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe.
Action!
be a fun season of MLS NEXT Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
If I got it, then I bought it. Take a bite, cause I want it. And I know I got the taste for the cake. And I take what I make and I flaunt it, flaunt it. Got diamonds on my necklace. I live how I like. So looks is getting reckless. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe.
Highlights and stats are next, but first, let's meet new Chattanooga FC manager Chris Nugent.
Chattanooga FC didn't have to look far to fill its head coaching vacancy for the 2025 season, promoting Chris Nugent, who'd been an assistant coach for the last 3 seasons and served as interim head coach in the last 2 games of 2024. As a former academy director, technical director, and performance analyst, Nugent brings a great deal of soccer knowledge to his role, not just on the pitch, but in the world of analytics.
We use evidence every day in life that we maybe don't realize it, with speed limits and like your diet, so why would we not use it to try and be a little bit more successful in other areas as well? So I was fortunate to be around some other coaches that were big into the evidence-based coaching and encourage my kind of curiosity and passion for it. So I think that showed how much I realized I didn't know. That maybe encouraged me to look a little bit deeper, to find more information, find more data, find more evidence of how I can be successful in whatever role that I'm in. Sports are never just black and white, so how that helps us get a little bit better at something, as well as taking into the context of, well, what's going on and where are we now and what other scenarios will we face with it. So it's a factor, and I think it's been successful throughout my career to use that and kind of fall back on it and allow that to influence some of the things we want to do here.
A native of England, Nugent became a U.S. citizen at a ceremony in Chattanooga in 2023, a moment that strengthened his connection to the team and the community.
I chose to be an American. I love it. I'm fortunate enough that I got to do it in Chattanooga, as the city where I walked in one country, nationality, and came out as American. I think that of leaving, come in, finding a new home, that's what Chattanooga's about as well. When you talk to people there, there's a lot of people that have come into the city, or their family have come into the city, and now it's their home. They live there, they have houses there, so I think that similarities is probably part of it. But Chattanooga has been a home since I got there. I felt connected to it. I think the people, and I mean, why would you not want to be part of a community when you can?
And that mindset applies to his vision for CFC.
I think continuing to grow, representing the city well. I think the city's continuing to grow and attract more eyes to it and more people, and I think that's the same with the club. Us being good stewards of the game and using soccer to grow Chattanooga, grow people, grow everything in it. We are so much more than just that team on the field. We're a club in the community, and you see that when you're out and about. It's not just a game day or that 90 minutes on a weekend when we play. It's referenced through how we are in the community, the after-school programs, the clinics, the youth club, the academy, the foundation. All of that is part of who we are. The Chattahooligans, the overall fan base. There's an identity of Chattanooga FC in the city. We are a club and a community, and I think that definitely helps us, knowing that we've got that fan base, that people care, that people support us on and off the field. That's a huge plus for us.
Action.
If I got it, then I bought it. Take a bite, cause I want it. And I know I got the taste for the cake. And I take what I make and I flaunt it, flaunt it. Got diamonds on my
Welcome back to Swungar Stadium here in Burnaby, British Columbia. Whitecaps FC go up by a goal, then find themselves down by a goal after Ventura County scores 2 unanswered. As we get ready to take a look at our halftime highlights, Ventura County trying to match Houston Dynamo Dos at the top of the Western Conference early in this season. Johnny Selemani got this run started for Vancouver, however, as he controlled possession. Ball comes out to Velios, and then Nikola Georgievic, who's been a menace on the ball for Vancouver. Excellent chip over the top, and Nelson Pierre so calm as he maneuvered right around the goalkeeper for his 5th goal of the season. And Vancouver was flying high early, but then Ventura County grew into the match. Harbor Miller had a big reason in that growth. And as this ball came across to Jindawi, sent it right back to Sullivan. His shot missed initially, but would not miss the second opportunity off the rebound. And that drew Ventura County level. Then a little bit later, similar action. Harbor Miller off the half turn, right around Mateo Clark. Sends in an early ball to Ruben Ramos Jr. Nobody picks him up, so he decides to have a crack, and it stings the strings. And Ventura County finds itself in front by a goal, 2-1 over Vancouver. You see the offense. Ventura County 10 shots, 5 on target, and for Vancouver just 5 shots to 1 on target. And so that will have to be the game plan change in the second half. How can they limit possession for Ventura County? We already mentioned that at times they would be okay with that possession, but Ventura County has just picked Vancouver apart when they've had opportunity on the ball. So stopping that initial line of sight, stopping that initial opportunity is going to be key, because if you have Musto, if you have Miller who gets behind, then that's going to allow them to find options in the box. Let's take a look at the upcoming match week schedule, with this being the final match of match week 7. Match week 8 is on the horizon, and some really fun matchups. Overall, Minnesota United FC tries to stay undefeated on the year, taking on the reigning champions North Texas SC. OCB, fresh off their loss to Red Bulls earlier today, will get back in action against Chicago on Friday. Later on in the week, you'll see Huntsville and Atlanta, and a really fun matchup that's a little bit later. Colorado Rapids, too, who have turned their season around, currently sitting at 3rd in the conference based on the live standings. Ventura County being in front would earn all 3 points, and they would put them in a tie with Houston for top of the Western Conference table. And Colorado will be right behind with 13 points after their win to date. Now it's time for the second half. We begin with Ventura County and Vancouver. Whitecaps FC2 in action. James Sadnott here with you. Sun has completely set. And Russo sends this right into the box. There's a shadow on the field earlier. No more shadow. Ball lost. Tuji into the arriving Velios. Already a pep in the step of Vancouver out of the break as they try to draw back level. There was a halftime substitution for head coach Matt Taylor of Ventura County. Riley Delgado has come off and Jason Buckner has come on. Selemani could not slalom around. Harbor Miller. Musto will clear his lines. Dimbo Sadikan will track it down. The center back pair with the captain Mark O'Neill, the former Blue Jay at Creighton. Lineup stays the same for Vancouver, who did create in that first half when they had possession. Only problem was they didn't have very much of the ball. They had just less than 40% of possession in that first half, and that's a recipe for disaster against a Ventura County side that can connect passes with the best of them in the league. If you give them time and space, it could be trouble. And that's what led to the 10 shots for Ventura County, the 5 on target, and the 2 goals. So how can Vancouver limit possession in the second half? That'll be key. Kaczewski can't dump it over Castro. Sedicon comes in. And Russo stepping to the ball. Buckner around Russo on the touchline. And Ventura County starting to race forward. Buckner. Sullivan. Nick Sullivan hits the crossbar. Nader Jindawi back on the ball for VCFC. Kaczewski into Ramos Jr. Ruben Ramos Jr. is stopped. Vanny off the rebound. And then the clearance. Georgievic. Clark as Georgievic continues his run. Tuji looking around. And Vancouver handles the early danger from VCFC. That will be a foul as Velios was trying to turn. Let's take a gander at this. Buckner with the early ball to Sullivan as he cuts back onto his right foot. Knew what he wanted to do the entire time, but just hit the crossbar. And then on the secondary action, Ruben Ramos Jr. gets to the end line. Poor angle, and so he looked for Vanny on the second opportunity. Milosevic did a good job of making himself big at the near post, not giving Ramos Jr. an opportunity to complete the brace. And then Dylan Vanny could not finish off the third opportunity in the sequence. So you already see with Vancouver opening itself up, Ventura County taking advantage of it, which means that we have a fun second half on our hands. Russo siphons this ball in, headed down by Buckner. Jindawi swerving in possession, and that's high hands and a foul. So Mateo Clark is the guilty party there. Nader Jindawi, mentioned it earlier today. He is a influencer along with professional soccer player. More than 5 million followers combined on Instagram and TikTok. Also had a moment with iShowSpeed, who is one of the biggest streamers in the entire world. So he's trying to set social media ablaze with an opportunity today. And Jindawi not pleased there. That's not going to get clipped for his TikTok feed after he's called for a foul. Which begs the question, how does one create a following of more than 5 million people? Yes, of course, professional athletes are well liked, well known. People want to know what they do on a daily basis. But 2 million on Instagram, 3.5 million on TikTok. Those are large numbers. And Jindawi also sponsored by Nike Football. '52nd minute of action. First ball headed away by Ventura County. Now this is Yuma Tuji trying to connect with Salamani. Tuji ends up with it. And Vancouver not going to be pleased there. You see Ricardo Clark coming out to talk with Thomas Noel. Rather than play the advantage with Georgievic racing towards the box, Noel brings it back. So Vancouver will have a set piece. you could tell by the reaction, would have liked the advantage. But if they were to score here, it's not going to matter. Jackson Castro, who had a excellent opening goal versus Houston, stands behind this. I like to play it just at the top of the 6. Ball's headed by O'Neal. But the former Blue Jay flying high could not target the back of the net as it went wide. Kochevsky, big diagonal for Buckner. Ramos just too far behind Jandawi, but he'll keep possession to keep the attack on. Buckner, who came on at halftime for Delgado. Kochevsky and Buckner play pass. This is where Ventura County can be clinical, just massaging the defense. They're given time. Mentioned their loss last time out at home to Portland. They're 1-1 on the road. And they won their last road match 2-1 versus Real Monarchs, as we have a foul. Vancouver 1-1 in their last 2 home matches. After giving up a lead, Selemani checked that Sedicon playing with his foot a bit inside the box. Finishing the point after giving up a lead to Tacoma on the road. They had a good response at home versus Austin. Tuji. Musto once again pings an excellent ball to Buckner. Buckner around Mateo Clark, coming centrally. Jason Buckner still with it. Dylan Vanny shoved down. Well done by Vanny to earn the free kick. Chevrolet is proud to be a partner of Vancouver Whitecaps FC since 2023. Together in this stadium, together on the pitch, and together, let's drive. Chevrolet.ca. So Ventura County will get numbers forward. Dylan Vanny preparing to take this free kick. Has to be held up by our head referee. So Vanny will do some juggling, keep himself loose. Vanny resets in the 57th minute. Ball swings in, and Milosevic easily brings it down. Talked about Ventura County and their scoring ability, the 12 goals on the season. This is now their 4th straight match with multiple goals. Ball lost to Russo. Daniel Russo, 2 heavy touches, and Pepe goes to ground. Now Buckner racing the other way. Salamani stops him, but Ramos arrives for Ventura County. Jindawi. Doesn't look like that ball took a deflection. So the throw-in will be for Vancouver. Vancouver coming into today was 3rd in the West, giving up 15 goals already this year. That's 3rd most in the conference. They've given up the 2 today. They make amends. Mark O'Neill out of the reach of Georgievic. In the 60th minute now. No goal scored here in this second half. All 3 goals scored in the first half. Nelson Pierre scoring the opener for Vancouver. And then Nick Sullivan scoring the game tying goal. Ruben Ramos with the game winner as it stands right now. Plenty of time remaining. Buckner. Sadikhan saves. Castro forward towards Pierre, who's been quiet. Now Pepe joining the attack. Buckner. Vanny loading up. And Sadikhan saves the day again as he goes to ground. He'll send it away for the clearance. Rindov back into harm's way. Miller.
First substitution for Whitecaps FC2.
Antoine Coupland is going to come on for Daniel Russo. Coupland, who made his return to the pitch after injuries early on in the year in preseason, is back on. And what Russo provided earlier in the week in regards to service, didn't really have an opportunity to do that today. So we'll see where Coupland starts to play. Already looks like Georgievic has come back to play in that right back position, and Coupland will play where Georgievic was playing, higher up the pitch, which will allow for Coupland to be a part of the action, and Georgievic, who has the assist on the day, to also play a little bit higher up the field in attacking moments. What that also will do will be to create advantages for Ventura County on the counter. But Rico Clark, with 30 minutes remaining, understanding he has to make a change, has to have players that can keep possession for longer spells and really create something for others. Russo wasn't showcasing that today. He has that ability. Just wasn't in the cards for him as he goes to the bench. Kuchevsky slips towards Sullivan, and that was a wonderful strike, but he was offside. And Kuchevsky heard the whistle, did not react. So Sullivan has been offside a couple of times today with the line that Vancouver is playing. This ball comes all the way back to Brady Scott. Ventura County with their 2 goals on the day now have 14 on the season, and that is tied for 4th most in the Western Conference. They play a beautiful brand of football. Kuchevsky siphons forward. Vanny has options. He turns it over. Now Mateo Clark trying to play route 1. Scott comes well off his line. He's out of the box. Coupland does not decide to shoot. Locates Selemani. No numbers in the box for Vancouver. Now numbers arriving. Ball comes towards the back post. Castro was there, but Brady Scott was in front of him. So things starting to open up. And that's what you like to see if you're Ventura County, because of the ability. Now a bad giveaway. Coupland. Antoine Coupland earns a corner for Vancouver.
Second substitution for Ventura County FC, leading the game, number 74, Nader Jindawi.
So Jindawi will come out.
Entering the game, number 78, Luis Mueller.
And Luis Mueller will come on. And he's a player that can be the boogeyman for Vancouver, because he can put a game away. He leads the team with 4 goals. Vancouver trying to level the scoring. Coupland sends this ball in. And Nelson Pierre was arriving. See how the shape changes, or if it changes for Ventura County with the addition of Luis Mueller. Pepe, big ball forward. O'Neal under some duress, but he is well and ready for that. Always calm. Asking Coach Clark about O'Neal, his transition from collegiate soccer to the pros, and it's been a very calm transition. Georgievic is tripped up, and that will be a yellow on Musto. And that's the player to find if you're Vancouver. Georgievic, who has the assist on the day and has shown a keen ability to navigate his way through defenders. He has not shied away from opportunities on the ball. So how can you find him deeper in the final third?
Yellow card caution assessed to Ventura County, number 65, Thomas Busto.
Play resumes. Buckner. Giorgio Kaczewski. Antoine Coupland with his fresh legs, trying to put a little bit more pressure on Ventura County. Musto. Mueller. With his profile, this could be a tough match for Castro. Mueller sticking with it, sends the ball across, and it's handled by O'Neal. Milosevic was down diving for it, but the captain O'Neal did the dirty work. Selemani using his body well. Coupland continuing his run. But Selemani just runs out of space. Musto had his arm around Selemani, but the foul going on Johnny Selemani. Lewis Mueller. Now Rindove. Ramos. This ball will trickle out for a corner. BMO is proud to be a founding partner of Vancouver Whitecaps FC since 2006. Join the bank of soccer at bmo.com. 70th minute of action. Vancouver behind Ventura County, trying to avoid dropping 2 straight matches at home. Have just a 1 win on the season. Now this ball sent in, punched down by Milosevic. Mueller back on it, but loses it to Mateo Clark. Clark screaming forward. Harbor Miller stops the attack, headed back into harm's way. And Ventura County controls. Taylor about to make 2 more substitutions. Dylan Vanny is going to come off for Vincent Garcia. And Sean Karani is going to come on as well for Nick Sullivan.
For substitution for Ventura County, leaving the game number 83, Nick Sullivan. Entering the game number 61, Sean Karani.
So fresh legs all over the pitch now for Ventura County as they will look to put the finishing touches on things. Still plenty of time remaining in this match. These are aggressive substitutions. Arnold, a goal scorer. Sean Karani, a forward. How does that affect things defensively for Ventura County with the lead? Tuji. Too far out in front of Castro. Mateo Clark is on this. Nelson Pierre finishes the job. A brace for Nelson Pierre as Mateo Clark sent it over the top. The ball ended up dropping free after the miss hit, but Pierre wasn't missing from that close. So off this poor clearance, Mateo Clark first to it in open space as it drops over. The header initially miss hit by Velios, but Nelson Pierre is happy that it's set up on a platter for him, and he scores his second of the day.
Whitecaps FC 2 goal, his second of the match, sixth of the season, scored in the 73rd minute by number 42, Nelson Pierre.
Just mentioned, now Buckner, Kochevsky trying to cut it back. Ramos leaves it. Karani, Arnold. And it's a spitting image of what we saw in the first half. After Vancouver scored their first goal, it was an immediate action of this notion. Ventura County could not get the goal, but they came back very quickly. So now it's anybody's match. Ball sent forward to Coupland. Antoine Coupland. Now Selemani still inside the box. Umatuji. Ball ushered around to Velios. Ventura County with numbers behind the ball now. Where's the crevice for Castro? It's nowhere as Pepe. Little ball into Musto. Once again, not shy to play the ball out of the back, but Arnold sends the ball out. So a throw-in coming for Vancouver.
Substitution for Whitecaps FC 2, leading the game, number 63, Johnny Selemani.
Selemani, his day comes to a close.
Number 75, Ryan Alumi.
And Ryan Alumi comes on. Ball right into Pierre. Clark is pushed off the ball by Buckner. Once again trying to play out of the back. Arnold unsuccessful in his attempt to find Mueller. So Vancouver now sensing the moment after drawing level. Alumi. Georgievic swings the ball in, and Pierre too heavy on the header. This is exactly what you want, the man you want to find. Pierre in the air, and just put it over the crossbar. TELUS now offering pure fiber internet across Canada. Well, this should be a fun final 13 minutes and change, but this was to be expected. Ebbs and flows all throughout this match based on the styles of Vancouver and Ventura County. Lewis Mueller, a little pick, and he is deemed guilty on that foul. Vancouver trying to play quickly, but that's not going to fly for Thomas Noel. Now the ball comes quickly to the middle. Buckner got a touch on that, so a throw-in coming for Vancouver. Velios sticking with it. And Dalen Velios earns a corner for the Whitecaps. There's some pushing and shoving, as you'd expect. Pierre, a two-time goal scorer in this match, and Giorgio Kaczewski trying to ensure no hat trick is completed. Thomas Noel trying to calm things down as we've wound into the 79th minute of action. Mateo Clark sends this ball into the box. It's headed away by Rindov, but back towards Clark. Back into the mixer. Buckner first to it. And a stoppage, as offside was the decision. And for whatever Brady Scott said before restarting play, he receives a yellow card. Very excited to see how this match finishes up. Vancouver made the changes to find the game-tying goal. Ventura County made changes, bringing offensive players onto the pitch in Arnold and Mueller, so there's not going to be a drop-off due to their substitution, so they still have the players on the pitch that can get them a game winner. And now Harbor Miller picks the pocket of Georgievic. Mark O'Neill clears it for the moment. Kaczewski back towards Pepe. Now Karani for Ventura County. Coupland trying to cut back inside, but Rindov was there. And this match really open now. Musto drops it over the top. Mueller is onside. Lewis Mueller. Oh, this was an excellent ball, but Karani could not corral it at the doorstep. Buckner steps in front of this. Karani into Arnold. That will be a foul and a free kick for Ventura County. So Ventura County trying to steal one on the road. Had the lead after going down by a goal. Vancouver trying to flip the match on its head after going down 2-1. Drawing level here. Mueller lobs it. Buckner took his touch, tried to drop it in front of Pepe. Ball comes all the way back to Harbor Miller. Takes a deflection. Ventura County will keep possession. I spoke too soon. Now this is Nelson Pierre with numbers coming forward. Early ball, had the right idea, looking for a Lumi. And now a diagonal towards Buckner, as this match is wide open right now. Exactly what you want to see for the final 8 minutes. Moves. Now Karani returns the favor. Just a poor ball. Musto usually not one to make that mistake, especially with numbers in the box. The unsung hero of the day, Nikola Georgievic. Scoops it forward. Alumi into the path of Coupland. Antoine Coupland. Nelson Pierre. Coupland just whistles wide. Alumi, an excellent touch. Springing Antoine Coupland. He just could not sneak it inside that near post. Both teams with marvelous opportunities over the last 5 minutes. And you have a feeling there might be more chances down the stretch. It's a foul on Antoine Coupland. Harbor Miller have to get up. Coupland has shown the yellow. After a yellow card is shown, whistle has to be blown to restart play. There is your whistle, and play resumes. 85th minute. We're knotted up at 2-all. Pepe. A nice touch by Mueller. Ramos' shot is blocked. Buckner gives Ventura County the lead. And that's why you take that early shot if you're Ruben Ramos, because the rebound drops in front of a teammate. After that initial shot, everyone is looking around. And as the ball drops right for Buckner, he makes no mistake. And Ventura County is in front, 3-2. And I guess I'm just too old to know what TikTok dance that was, but a fantastic celebration as the substitute Jason Buckner makes it 3-2.
FC goal scored in the 85th minute by number 55, Jason Buckner.
Still plenty of time for Vancouver. Ventura County will look to walk away with all 3 points. Nice dummy played by Coupland. This is the substitute Alumi. But he cannot work his way around 2 different teammates, or excuse me, opponents. Throw in comes in quickly, much to the chagrin of the Vancouver Whitecaps faithful. And now down the goal, the tension rising for the Caps. Georgievic, nice touch by Pierre. And because of the touch, Clark was offside. So late substitutions coming on. Luca Chin will come on for Umatuji.
Third substitution for Whitecaps.
Oscar Essengate will come on as well. And that is a defensive substitution for Ventura County, now with the lead. Wanting to hold on for all 3 points.
Third substitution for Whitecaps.
Jason Buckner, fresh off the goal, takes a touch around Velios. Buckner slows his pace on the edge of the box. Now we'll take it to the corner flag.
For Whitecaps FC2 leading the game, number 68, Umatuji.
It will be a goal kick.
And game number 62,
So a defensive substitution. Ruben Ramos Jr. comes off. Asel Essengate comes on. And now an extra defender, an extra big body in the air. As you would expect Vancouver to start to play direct balls.
Fifth and final substitution for Ventura County FC in game number 24.
Mueller takes the touch.
And game number 51 is Zelaziku.
Buckner into Kaczewski. But Mueller taken off the ball by O'Neal. That will be a foul. We're in the 90th minute. Time dwindling away for Vancouver now, and that's not going to help as Milosevic sends the ball out of play. Mueller will turn. Now Kaczewski slips to Arnold, and he can't put the finishing touches on the match, leaving the door open for Ventura, excuse me, for Vancouver.
A minimum of 3 minutes of added time in the second half.
First ball won by Werindov. Now it's Arnold just missing out on that shot. Kaczewski returns to Arnold. Karani makes the run. Sean Karani returns, but Arnold is not there. Asel Essengate comes in, but a stoppage of play. And offside. So now Ventura County trying to waste away these final minutes. The fourth official announcing a minimum of 3 minutes of added time. Asel Essengate from a center back position towards Jason Buckner. Advantage is played. Jackson Castro. Ball was sent in. Now it's Gabriel Arnold. And Arnold is fouled by Velios. So a yellow card is shown to Velios. So here we see Arnold just starting to scamper forward. Velios trying to win the ball back, but that's too much contact, says Thomas Noel. We're nearing 2 minutes of our minimum of 3 gone. The clock has almost struck midnight for Vancouver. Harbor Miller towards Karani, who will again make things difficult. Karani holding up Georgievic. And now Vancouver has to get the ball forward, but it's given away to Mueller, and he sends the ball out of play. So again, Ventura County has had opportunities to put the finishing touches on this match. And that's a rare miss from Mueller, even though he was shading off to his left side. The door open just a crack for Vancouver. There's a foul on Castro. And the door slowly shutting as we are nearing our minimum of 3 minutes complete in added time. Ventura County, after giving up the lead, will leave with all three. And Ventura County now tied for the top of the Western Conference table with Houston after a victory over Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2. The final, Whitecaps 2, Ventura County 3. And here is your man of the match. As this ball pops to Ruben Ramos Jr., he takes the shot. It falls kindly to Jason Buckner, and he makes absolutely no mistake with a powerful shot past Milosevic. And again, this very fun celebration, finishing things off and getting the victory over Vancouver. Once again, our final score, Whitecaps 2, Ventura County 3. With my entire broadcast crew, my name is James Hadnot saying so long from Burnaby, British Columbia. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Have a blessed evening.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.